This is a time of year when a lot of people start to feel their energy dip. Shorter days, darker evenings, and our motivation starts to wane a bit. You're not alone if you felt more tired, snacky, or less consistent lately. Our brains and bodies really do respond to the change in light. But what if this month was more about what keeps you steady and well instead of pushing through? Welcome to episode 145, Nurturing November, Maintaining Well-Being in the Darker Seasons. At the beginning or the end of a month, I like to reflect and look back on what that month was like. I look at areas like my physical, emotional, mental, social, spiritual, environmental, and vocational, and I might be missing one, those areas of my life, and do that as a mental or even a written audit. So at the end of October, I asked myself, what do I want November to look like? What do I want it to feel like? What do I want more of? And what do I want less of? And who do I need to be in order to create that kind of November? I also asked, what have I been saying I've been wanting to do for a while, but I haven't done it? I ask that because I know those are the accumulative energy drains. Like, I want to do this, but I can't. And often we may say it's because of someone else. But is it? That's a time to reflect and say, what is it that's stopping me from making that happen? Who do I need to become in order to be someone who does do that? What do I need to help support me in order to be able to do that? That's part of our empowerment so that we're not leading a frustrated and resentful life. As I'm saying this, what's flitting through your mind? If you're not driving or doing something that it would be unsafe to do so, take a moment and either add it to your notes or write it down. What came to mind? Because that's probably something you've been saying or wanting for a while. So I always say, don't ignore those little voices within, those thoughts that come when you're in an environment like this. You're in a podcast, you chose to press play on this to learn, to grow, to evolve, to empower yourself. Now, I had a long list, so I had to choose. I chose 3 to 4 as my top ones. If I get those done, I'll move on to the others. But I don't want to do it just as a check mark, like did it. I mean, there's a few things you can do, but the really important things, I want to feel a certain way as I go through them. And that doesn't mean it has to be all wonderful and rainbows and daisies. It means that I want to feel accomplished. I want to feel present. I want to feel focused. I want to feel connected. I want to feel inspired. That's why I'm calling this month Nurturing November, a time to care for ourselves. And for me, it's also my environment in a way that feels nurturing and not just pushing through, in a way that truly sustains us. I started by taking a break from the podcast last week. I did that so that I could be present and enjoy the World Series over the weekend, know that I'm staying up late, allow my body to sleep in as long as it could, and it was 7:20, especially with the time change. I was really thankful for that. But I wanted to be able to move into things that are exciting for me as well. I've got something I'm working on in my business, and I want it to feel good. I want to stay inspired by it and not be in that push energy. You may notice this month that I'll be posting a little less, or who knows, maybe I'll be posting a little bit more, all inspired. But the point is, I'm giving myself permission to just be, to be still, go inward, and listen to that still small voice. This season invites us to slow down a little, not to stop growing, but to grow differently. Sometimes nurturing means adjusting, not abandoning our healthy habits. Think of it as trading hustle for alignment with your values, giving yourself permission to do what restores your energy, not drains it. And small things make a big difference right now, so don't discount them. Getting outside for even 10 minutes of morning light, preparing and enjoying nourishing meals. That's one thing on my list. Or connecting with someone you care about. And I have quite a few on my list. Our brains need rhythm and routine, especially when daylight drops. A short walk, earlier bedtime, shutting off the screens a little bit earlier. You'll be surprised at how quick that can change your mood for the better. I'm back into taking candlelit baths instead of using scrolling as my unwind time. I'll get caught up on the messages that I haven't been able to do through the day, but then when I'm in the tub, I want to just be. And if you draw strength from faith like I do, this season is a great reminder that light still shines in the darkness. I was grateful for that this morning, that reminder, as I was all cozied up on the couch, had my candles and soft lighting on, and just reflecting and meditating and prayer. Even though I didn't feel like doing that, even though I didn't have the motivation, I just let it be. It was still dark outside, so I didn't have to expect that, oh, you have all this motivation. But by just letting it be, the momentum started to pick up, especially as I get into my routine. And then I was at my desk and working in my business. I could feel the inspiration coming within because I had taken time to nurture as well as connect. When we think of who we can serve, how we can make a difference, that's where inspiration comes from. So today, I want us to revisit an episode that fits perfectly with this theme. Self-care. It's not what you think. You'll hear what real self-care looks like and how to practice it in ways that will renew your energy. Join me for this audio episode recorded before I started video for YouTube. I know you'll find it helpful. Hi, I'm Clarenda, and you are listening to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. Today, we're celebrating the 50th installment of Feel Light, Mind, and Body and exploring a topic that's at the heart of what I do, true self-care. It's what we're all thirsty for. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and relaxation, though those are amazing. It's about something deeper, something that can transform your life. Pampering ourselves, buying something special, and getting out in nature are all ways to take care of ourselves and provide relaxation and pleasure. You're well versed in that kind of self-care and its benefits. So today, I want to encourage you to think of forms of self-care that benefit you now and in the long term. Let's take a closer look. The inner conversation. Do you ever listen to that inner dialogue? You know, the voice in your head that can be your biggest cheerleader or your harshest critic. What's its tone? Yes, even the voice in your head has a tone. If you're like most of us, you've probably given more airtime to the inner critic. It's time to shift the balance. True self-care begins with tuning in to that dialogue. It's about understanding how you talk to yourself without judgment. Just like you would listen to a friend or family member, you deserve to give yourself space and time to compassionately become aware of what you're thinking and how you're feeling. Once you become aware of your thoughts, feelings, and inner dialogue, you can practice, or I can teach you the skill set and how to be proactive with them. You don't have to continue talking to yourself in a judgmental way. Honest, yes, but kind. We weren't taught this skill in school, but it's crucial. Self-criticism can erode self-confidence and self-esteem, and it's a vicious cycle. Acknowledging your inner world. Before you rush to replace negative thoughts with positive ones in order to feel better, pause. Acknowledge what's happening inside your mind. What are you thinking and feeling right now? These thoughts influence your actions and create your life. Taking care of your inner dialogue, that familiar script, is a cornerstone of self-care. When you treat yourself with kindness, even as you face harsh realities, that's when transformation happens. Recognizing emotional needs. Self-care is also about recognizing your unmet emotional needs. We often use external comforts like food, drinks, or shopping to fill voids within ourselves. But true self-care is learning to identify those needs and meeting them in a healthier way. Self-care isn't just saying yes to everything and not caring about your future self. No, saying no now so you can be healthier later is also an example of true self-care. Tell me something. When was the last time you took a break without feeling guilty? And I mean taking a break to do nothing, and without using food or drink as a reason or an excuse to keep you sitting still in one place. Or not as a reason for not cleaning up or moving on to your next task. How would it feel to give yourself permission to take a break and it not have to look like throwing in the towel? Doing so intentionally is empowering. Imagine understanding your emotional landscape and being able to respond to your needs without resorting to old, unhelpful habits. It's part of the path to feeling lighter in your mind and body. A hidden drain. Throughout the day, there's a constant inner monologue running, but we often don't even notice it. This unnoticed dialogue quietly depletes our mental energy and contributes to our fatigue by the day's end. It's a silent saboteur. These subconscious thoughts can be harsh, and they often go unchecked. They undermine our self-esteem, contribute to stress, and lead to self-sabotage. Food and drink are such familiar and accessible habitual things to turn to for relief and pleasure, so we cave sometimes under the guise of self-care, and the cycle continues. The good news? This cycle can be broken. Unburden yourself. We all have our internal judgments. Things like, I'm not a good parent. I'm letting my partner down. I'm failing at work. I'm not enough. These narratives keep us from reaching our full potential and living our best lives. True self-care is about untangling these inner knots. Understanding these negative thoughts is a vital part of self-care. It's about recognizing when these thoughts emerge and the impact they have on your choices, your actions, and ultimately your life. Rekindling hope. The essence of true self-care is not about relentless effort and sacrifice. It's about rediscovering ease and freedom on your journey. It's about finding a path that feels good, where you don't have to battle your inner critic or exhaust yourself. When you make choices rooted in self-care, you'll experience a transformation. You'll learn more about your mind and body. Shifting your mindset, you'll embark on a weight loss journey that's enjoyable and sustainable. This is about creating a better relationship with yourself, accepting who you are, and loving yourself through every step. It's not a rigid, exhausting struggle. It's a path of growth and self-compassion. This is why true self-care is part of the weight and life coaching that I offer. With any program, the initial high energy usually has you exuberantly following the rules and the meal plan that someone has created for you. But once it starts to wane and life happens, or you simply get tired of all of the efforting, you start to long for more ease and freedom. You then go back to what is comfortable and decide it's not worth it. The costs were too high. It doesn't have to be that way. I help you see the costs and benefits of both scenarios, so you can then decide what you're willing to do and not do. When you choose from a self-care mindset, it will feel so much better. You will learn so much about your mind and body. As you make these mindset shifts, you'll lose weight from a place of understanding, acceptance, self-love, and self-compassion, and it can be a beautiful experience, not an exhausting, white-knuckling one. You will be more apt to stay committed when you have created what you want and don't want, and what you're willing to do. From this empowered promise to yourself that is achievable and sustainable, you'll stay the course. If you take the wrong exit, you'll simply reroute and come back to the lighter route. Practice, coaching support, effective tools, and simple tactics will make reaching your goal more enjoyable, and you'll love integrating your new identity into your everyday life. You don't have to be a recluse to lose weight. Having a healthier and happier identity is simply one decision away. What is your missing piece? Are you wanting more peace of mind and food freedom? If so, join me on this path. After recording this episode, I'm off to celebrate my mom's 84th birthday, complete with decadent chocolate cake. I'll enjoy a small slice of it, enough to enjoy the taste, but not too much that I feel awful an hour or so later. I'm making this choice intentionally, and I like my reasons, so there's no need to feel guilty afterwards, or think I might as well eat what I can now since I'm already eating off my plan. Nope. That can be part of your plan occasionally, and you don't have to live feeling deprived, only empowered. This is a part of self-care I want you to experience as well, while working towards your goals. So if you haven't already tried my free mini course, 5 Steps So Your Clothes Feel Looser, it's a fantastic motivational boost and can offer clarity on your goals. If you've already completed it but find yourself struggling, consider booking a free 20-minute session with me. You have nothing to lose, but a whole lot to gain. Food freedom, a lighter heart, mind, and body. I will add the links for both options in this episode's description. This week, I encourage you to embrace true self-care. Begin the journey of kindness, awareness, and making choices rooted in love for yourself. Your path to a lighter, healthier you starts with a single step, and I'm here to support you. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women. And that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.